And we are back for an all-new episode of Keep It. I'm Ira Madison III.
I'm Louis Vertel, and it's that moment when we're days before the Oscar nominations, which will be announced by our friend Bowen Yang, frequent Keep It guest, and Rachel Sennett, who I call the Angeline of Silver Lake. You could just run into her on the streets. She's like driving a car. She sells autographs out of her trunk. The Oscar nominations are coming, and I'm thinking about my last-ditch hopes, and I'm realizing it is very up in the air for the Best Actress category, which almost never happens to us. So I'm more excited than usual. Even though if I don't need Demi Moore to win this Oscar. That's just something I think. We can get into that a little bit later. Are you excited for the Oscars?
Now, did Ashton Kutcher pay you to say that?
I'm in the Kunis camp, yes. I feel like she and Demi get along. They have a long, straight hair camaraderie.
I am, first of all, floored that the nominations are coming up in a few days. You know, I don't have my calendar marked for it like you.
Oh, this is the only reason I have a calendar.
Yeah, but I don't know. I'm still pulling for Marianne Jean-Baptiste.
Me too, and I'm really worried she's not going to make it. At this point, it sort of feels like maybe Fernanda Torres will get in and she won't, but I don't know. Again, Hard Truths is one of those movies where I can't tell if people ended up seeing it. It was heralded a lot, but I don't know that I've heard a lot of scuttlebutt about the actual movie itself. So I also got into a fight about that movie recently with somebody on my text chain who said there wasn't enough of a character arc. And I'm like, well, the character arc of our friendship is ending. So how about that?
I also think that it really needed a big Golden Globes sort of moment, whereas I think that Sebastian Stan is going to get in and maybe some stuff for A Different Man because now people have heard of it. Every time I told people, go and see this movie, I love it. It's one of my, like, that and Anora are my two favorite films of the year, you know? And it's finally on Max. I opened up the app and I saw that it was there to watch. But otherwise, I was like, where the hell is this movie?
I love in A Different Man, Renata Reinsva, who is in The Worst Person in the World. She gives a bonkers performance, and yet not like zany. It's not like you're watching her be. It's very funny and always unexpected. So look out for her too, because she will have an Academy moment sometime in the future.
That is such a heartbreaking movie.
Yes, it's right. And also the performances by everybody, including Sebastian Stan, are so good. But you got to see a movie that is not in Oscars contention yet. I doubt it's going to get there. It's a January release. But we're talking about One of Them Days with SZA and Keke Palmer. Now, Keke Palmer, as we know, is among the funniest people alive. And she has the energy of like Rip Taylor or something. I feel like she's going to like throw confetti around the room whenever she enters. But what did you think of it? I'm really curious about this movie.
I thought that this movie was fucking hysterical. Like,
great.
Yeah, I went with 3 friends to see it on a Friday night at AMC, and I can't think of the last time I felt compelled to really go and see a movie opening night with some friends. Like, we had a text chain about it in the morning. It was like, well, yeah, let's all get tickets and go see this movie. And first of all, the theater was also completely diverse in just who was coming to see this movie. You know, there were older people, younger people, different races. I was like, there were like old white men there to see this movie. I'm like, everybody must love Keke Palmer, you know?
I guess, yeah. And they're watching her do Password with Jimmy Fallon or something. I wonder what their in is.
I cracked up in every single fucking scene. It's just, it's been a long time since I've seen a comedy that is just consistently funny. Kiki's great in it. SZA, in her first real acting role, is also hilarious.
Okay, I almost have a problem with this. I want the comedies to be good, but again, when people who are just funny and that's not their job at all, it's like, again, this is all some of us have. Like, I can't go and, you know, release R&B hits. Like, no, that's what you do. You see? There were 2 different people.
I think you could do that, Louis. Let's get you in the studio. Let's get you in the studio with The Face.
And Babyface, yes.
Do you know what I learned he was called The Face? It was during an old Whitney interview where someone asked her, how do you feel about Madonna scoring a top 10 hit with bedtime stories with Babyface? And she was like, let me tell you something. Before Madonna and The Face, there was I.
Sometimes Whitney Houston is just the Bible. That's how she speaks. Babyface, I believe, did Take a Bow, not bedtime stories. Yeah.
You're right, as usual.
Thank you. Yeah, it's weird that I would know the thing about Madonna. I know, but yeah.
Yeah. The movie there's a lot of great cameos in it too. It's just like a really funny movie. It's also very heartfelt, and I will also credit it with being a film that doesn't spend too much time on familiar beats that have to happen in a comedy like this. It's about two best friends who basically find out that their rent money has gone missing, and they have 9 hours to pay their landlord or they're going to be evicted. And obviously a movie like that where it's two best friends, there's going to be a scene at a point towards the end of the movie where, they have a fight. But it doesn't linger on it, and it makes it funny, and it's not one of those things where you're like, oh, okay, like we're going to spend the whole movie on something like this. I really, really love the movie. So I'm going to see it again.
I'm so glad to hear. No, it sounds like it's got some Broad City hijinks in it.
I think it's going to be probably like a word of mouth kind of film too, because let me tell you something. I can jump to my keep it early and tell people, if you don't know who Keke Palmer is, what's going on here? There were several gays that I interacted with over this weekend at parties who a couple of them didn't know who Keke Palmer was, and some of them also did not know this movie was even out.
What do they know? Do they have a computer, a phone, anything? That is upsetting, especially since Keke Palmer herself is famous for not knowing who somebody is, and that's her thing. So stop stepping on her game. Keke Palmer did an interview for this movie where she talked about the song Defying Gravity, and she goes, do you hear that? That's a slave hymn. And who is she with? Issa Rae just like fell over laughing. It's just, the thing she says, you couldn't write. We don't have writers who write what Keke Palmer does.
You know what my favorite thing about that interview is? Cynthia Erivo did not like that.
And she was briefed immediately. Yeah.
She ran into her and was like, slave him, girl? Really?
I wonder if she'll get a nomination this week. I think she's the most kind of on the bubble. I think how Wicked will perform now that it's sort of peaked early in the award season, and we're seeing now we're seeing like Pamela Anderson come to the fore and other movies like the Sebastian Stan movie happen. It's interesting to see where Wicked will end up.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that movie, Last Showgirl. I still have to see that and The Brutalist, but everything I've heard about The Last Showgirl has been a lot of ho-hum from people.
Yeah, and it feels like it just doesn't really need Oscar nominations, but I haven't seen it yet, so I can confirm that soon. Also, regarding The Brutalist, I'm still getting over that Brady Corbet is the kid from Mysterious Skin. That movie with Joseph Gordon-Levitt and Brady Corbet, it's like, wow, and you turned out this movie that reminds me nothing of the Greg Araki movie from the mid-2000s. Not that I would ever think it would, but it's like Todd Field, the guy who once had a small part in Eyes Wide Shut, who gave us the movies In the Bedroom and Little Children, suddenly turning out Tar, a movie that has nothing to do with anything.
Well, that is the power of acting.
Thank you, Mr. Strasberg. Uta Hagen. What the hell is happening on this show today? What are we doing?
I don't know if you heard, Louis, but yesterday, a new president was sworn in.
Oh, her, yes.
And it was not Dana Delaney.
Damn it. Or Gina Davis on Commander-in-Chief?
Yeah, one of the brunettes. I feel like 10 different women had a TV show or movie where they were president between 1997 and 2004.
Remember when Meryl Streep was our president in Don't Look Up, a movie I refuse to bring up again? I'm sorry to even do it now.
Yes, the inauguration happened yesterday on MLK Day, by the way. And if you think I spent any time thinking about that, you'd be wrong. But we're going to discuss it today.
A lot went down. Carrie Underwood, a performer who once defeated our beloved Vonsel Solomon on the television series American Idol, got to perform. And I would describe myself as crestfallen at that news. So we'll get into that.
Keep It is brought to you by Manukora Honey. Are you looking for something simple and delicious to add to your wellness routine? Well, I don't know. Whip it into your protein shake or just eat it raw, like Winnie the Pooh.
I love Manuka honey. It always goes into my Greek yogurt, always goes into my protein shake, and honey is one of my favorite roles in the American theater, from Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf, acclaimed Oscar winner Sandy Dennis, Carrie Coon, Melinda Dillon, heard of them? Back to Manukora honey. It's rich, creamy, and contains powerful nutrients to support immunity and gut health. It's ethically produced by master beekeepers in New Zealand, home to the Manuka tea tree. The Manuka tea tree's nectar is full with bioactives, packing its honey with 3 times more antioxidants and prebiotics than average, and it's a game changer. All you need is 1 heaping teaspoon each morning to get the most out of the amazing bioactives in Manuka.
Listen, as soon as Louis started taking this, he's been buzzing.
You should work in ad copy. Don Draper, is that fucking you?
If you don't like what people are saying,
change the conversation. Yes, right.
Now it's easier than ever to try Manukora honey. Head to manukora.com/keepit to get $25 off the starter kit, which comes with an MGO 850 plus Manuka honey jar, 5 honey travel sticks, a wooden spoon, and a guidebook. I am always envious of people who whip out their own honey sticks on the plane.
That's manukora.com/keepit for $25 off your starter kit. Keep It is brought to you by Armra Colostrum. I'm always on the lookout for ways to strengthen immunity and gut health, improve my fitness and metabolism, and enhance my skin and hair radiance, which, as you can see right now, is poppin'. Well, luckily, I found a product that does all that and more. You know how I like starting out my day? With a boost. I'll take anything. Caffeine, a compliment, whatever. But Armra Colostrum is the actual boost that will get me going through my day.
With 400 plus functional nutrients, Armra Colostrum optimizes your whole body's microbiome and strengthens your immune barriers along the mouth, sinuses, lungs, gut, urinary, and reproductive tracts to protect you against unwelcome particles. Are you tired of feeling bloated? While probiotics only address one part of the 4-part gut wall, rendering most products kind of dead before they even reach your gut, Armra Colostrum naturally fortifies your entire gut wall system, supporting your microbiome and strengthening the gut wall architecture, which combats irritants that can trigger symptoms like bloating and constipation. What I'm saying is, Miss Frizzle ain't getting in there.
No way. Armra Colostrum also supports your metabolism on both fronts by guarding against toxins that can slow down metabolism and modulate hormones like leptin that ignite your body's fat-burning capacity for your peak metabolic performance. And if your goals are more beauty than brawn this year, Colostrum bioactives have also been shown to reactivate hair follicle stem cells, optimize the hair microbiome, feed regenerative nutrients to the scalp, and work to combat hair loss by guarding against chemical-induced damage to the follicle. You'll also reap strong benefits from antioxidants, whole food prebiotics, growth factors, vitamins, and regenerative peptides that have been shown in research to help reduce fine lines, enhance skin radiance, and activate collagen production, while also strengthening the skin barrier. We've worked out a special offer for our audience. Receive 15% off your first order. Go to tryamra.com/keepit or enter KEEPIT to get 15% off your first order. That's TRYARMRA.com/keepit.
On Monday, TikTok savior Donald Trump was inaugurated as president for the second time, despiling the spirit of MLK weekend. And while the Pod Save Bros will be talking about all the serious repercussions of that on their little podcast, or probably Stephen Colbert for the 8th time this week, Louis and I are going to talk about something equally important, Carrie Underwood.
It's hard to say that you're disappointed by Carrie Underwood because I don't know that I've ever had a bar that she like ran and jumped over. You know what I mean? I don't expect much from her. That said, again, we talked about last week how she's on a bill with the Village People. And I just want to say what's left of the Village People, which is one original member who is straight and apparently befuddled that anybody would interpret the Village People as a gay troupe when they have songs literally called Fire Island and Key West and Hot Cop. So he's just confused. And also, do you know who he used to be married to?
Who?
Phylicia Rashad, which... another bad decision Phylicia Rashad made. I don't know what to tell you about that. But we love Phylicia Rashad. She's lovely in the Creed movies. Anyway, but...
the Creed movies.
Carrie Underwood performed America the Beautiful, and I don't know if you saw this actual footage. When it's clipped on YouTube, you won't see this whole thing. She walked in, was announced, and promptly stood there for over a minute while they didn't have the music ready. So she is literally standing there and, in my opinion, forced to think about what she has chosen to do. She is standing there in silence. Everybody is standing there in silence. Kamala is behind her, wishing lightning would actually hit her in that moment. And you're waiting for her to start singing, and she just decides she has to do it a cappella eventually, which leads to a D- performance of America the Beautiful. I don't think I've ever heard Carrie Underwood sound worse. I will say about the girl, if she's singing at an event, you can count on her to hit the notes. Twice now, we have hired this woman to toast Linda Ronstadt during two of the biggest accolades she ever got. She was there singing Linda Ronstadt songs for Linda Ronstadt at the Kennedy Center Honors and at her induction at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So I just want to say, fuck you, Carrie Underwood. It should have been anybody but you. You're telling me Kelly Clarkson couldn't have done that?
Imagine Kelly Clarkson there.
I know. I mean, Linda Ronstadt would sooner be dead than be at this inauguration. It's so insulting that we had Carrie Underwood, in retrospect, perform for her.
Well, I guess Jesus took the notes. For one.
He's not giving them back.
Thank God that Kamala Harris has some dignity, or also, I guess, this punishment kink for her to actually show up to the inauguration and be there. But God, I am so happy that we have her facial reaction to Carrie Underwood singing.
It was that kind of Nicole Kidman trying that food on that one show one time. She's like, not sure about that. Like something keeps jolting through her neck.
Also, I'm sorry, these people are losers. Okay? There is really no other way to describe Trump and his cronies than to call them losers. When the Village People are performing and that man is doing his dance behind them, it's the dumbest thing you've ever seen in your life.
It's so embarrassing, but I guess his superpower is never seeming embarrassed, at least to his super fans or whatever. But he is, first of all, let's just talk about the blocking on this. The Village People are whatever they are in their outfits that I'm guessing are procured from consignment bins. I have no idea how they function or feed themselves. But they're there, and Trump is sort of just angled behind them doing his marionette dance, which, when Conan does moves like that, I love it. But coming from Trump, it feels dictatorial. And standing there to this one song, it's like, do people want to watch this? It's like this act he does that it's supposed to be endearing, but I don't think anybody loves the song YMCA that much.
No, and it's also this weird conservative thing where the only celebrities and musicians they can get are, the bottom of the barrel. And so they have to, by nature, pretend to love these things. When you have Scott Baio showing up, you have to pretend like this is a celebrity you're really excited to meet. Yeah,
right. But it did baffle me. Apparently Jewel was there at some health-based inaugural ball, and she performed too. These hands, they are my own, and they're covering my eyes. I'm embarrassed for you, bitch. Why are you there?
Well, she loves RFK Jr., apparently. And, I mean, when you've been inhaling all those carburetor fumes.
Oh, in your van all those years.
Yeah. It's done something to her brain.
So she's got what we call Scherzinger syndrome, where something about RFK Jr. you think is magical and should be supported publicly on Instagram, and then you just torch your standing with every gay person you've ever met.
You had Billy Ray Cyrus there, and I mean, you can text the president, but you can't text your daughter back.
I love all his hits, and though I guess he is technically also a co-artist on one of the biggest Billboard songs of the past 10 years, Old Town Road.
Yeah, Kid Rock was there as usual. When is Kid Rock not there?
I would love for him to have something to do. Dreams, anything else.
Once upon a time, I really did love that song, Ba With Da Ba.
Oh, please. When they performed it with the opera at the Met for the 1999 VMAs, another reason that may be the definitive best award show of all time.
Nelly was there for some fucking reason. Yeah, Nelly. And this really upset me because my text chain and I went through all of the Nelly songs that we loved too, and we were like, fuck you, Nelly.
Oh my God, what a dilemma featuring Kelly Rowland.
Snoop
And
Dogg,
also, I thought
Rick Ross, Soulja Boy. This is mostly upsetting because I tend to remember when Chrisette Michele performed at Trump's first inauguration, and she was basically blacklisted and slandered by black people writ large. And I do not think that any of that is going to happen to these 4 men who performed for Trump.
Well, it weirdly feels a bit not under wraps, but not as publicized as you would think. Like Carrie Underwood, I've heard several reports about, but like Soulja Boy was there.
Mm-hmm.
That's really weird. I'm a little bit getting over Nelly too. Isn't Nelly dating somebody we care about? Ashanti?
Ashanti.
Yeah. Ashanti, bitch, get the fuck out of here.
Keep It is brought to you by 3 Day Blinds, Jesus' favorite.
And on the 3rd day, he blinded again. You know what the number one most annoying thing about blinds that aren't from 3 Day Blinds are? Pure ugliness. I walk into a house and I see somebody has blinds from, the Clinton administration. They're the wrong color. They're bent in exactly one place, so I'm constantly noticing that they're gross. And then it's all I can think about. New blinds will refresh your entire room.
It's 2025. Are your blinds still from 2005? There's a better way to build blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery, and it's called 3 Day Blinds. They are the leading manufacturer of high-quality custom window treatments in the U.S., and right now, if you use the URL 3dayblinds.com/keepit, they are running a buy one, get one 50% off deal.
3 Day Blinds has local, professionally trained design consultants who have an average of 10 plus years of experience that provide expert guidance on the right blinds for you in the comfort of your home. Just set up an appointment and you'll get a free, no obligation quote the same day. I just walked into the office at Crooked. The 3 Day Blinds are up. Honey, they're gorgeous.
Now, what I loved is that I am not a very handy person, and my familiarity with blinds is usually when I'm around the poker table.
You're like Annie Duke. That's right.
So what I love is that the expert team at 3 Day Blinds handles all the heavy lifting. They design, measure, and install so you can sit back, relax, and leave it to the pros, or watch your favorite poker movie starring Jessica Chastain.
Molly's Game? I want it. I also just love 3 Day Blinds because every version of a 3 Day Blind I've seen is gorgeous. So buy them because they're attractive. How about that? With 3 Day Blinds, you choose from thousands of options that fit any budget or style, and with actual samples, you won't be guessing about what your blinds will look like. 3 Day Blinds has been in business for over 45 years, and they have helped over 2 million people get the window treatments of their dreams, so they are a brand you can trust. Right now, get quality window treatments that fit your budget with 3 Day Blinds. Head to 3dayblinds.com/keepit for their buy one, get one 50% off deal on custom blinds, shades, shutters, and drapery. For a free, no charge, no obligation consultation, just head to 3dayblinds.com/keepit. One last time, that's buy one, get one 50% off when you head to the number 3dayblinds.com/keepit.
Keep It is brought to you by Helix. Let me tell you something about Helix mattresses. I love them. I can never even feel a pee underneath a Helix mattress. That's how comfortable they are.
And you wear a Carol Burnett wig to bed every night.
I do. It's the only way I can fall asleep.
I'm going to say, the world's hardest bob can only work on that noggin of yours. The Helix lineup offers 20 unique mattresses, including award-winning Luxe and ultra-premium Elite collections, Helix Plus, a mattress designed for big and tall sleepers, Helix Kids mattress designed for growing bodies, endorsed by child sleep experts. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? You're not going to believe this. You can take the Helix quiz, the sleep quiz, and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. I took it, and as you know, I am a qualified Helix Ultra ambassador, and I sleep soundly on my Helix Luxe mattress every single night.
Well, if you're not sure, you can take mine or Lewis's word for it. Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress picked by GQ and Wired magazine. It is even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors and doctors of sleep medicine as the go-to solution for improving your sleep. Improved sleep helps my life so much because, first of all, you do not want to be falling asleep on the subway in New York, okay?
Oh, I'll write that down.
Yeah, it's dangerous out there, okay? It's giving the warriors. So I love having, just more pep in my step. I love being able to concentrate at work. I love being able to write better, read and concentrate on the words. Sleep is kind of a good-ass thing. So go to helixsleep.com/keepit for 20% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase. That's helixsleep.com/keepit for 20% off site-wide, plus 2 free dream pillows with mattress purchase. helixsleep.com/keepit. I did have to think about Donald Trump this weekend, though, when the whole TikTok fiasco happened.
And you knew exactly what was going to happen with that. That stunt was set up. It was Evel Knievel, baby. Like, you were like, he's going to jump through that hoop and everyone's going to clap.
There are a lot of people mad at Gen Z for, quote unquote, celebrating the return of TikTok and thanking Donald Trump. I have not seen a single Gen Z person praising Donald Trump for this. I think that it is completely transparent that Donald Trump let TikTok be banned so that he could bring it back on the day of his inauguration. And then also, TikTok, take the dick out of your mouth. Okay?
Yeah. That guy at the inauguration.
The notification that came up when TikTok was ending was, President Trump is working hard to bring TikTok back to you. And then when it was back up, thank you, President Trump, for doing this. It's like, you sound fucking stupid.
I mean, it's incredibly sad. I mean, it's just, and also it's like the head of TikTok being at the inauguration. It's like, do you guys know what cronyism is? Like, this is disgusting.
Mark Zuckerberg there.
And her perm is fly. I mean, like, don't say that the girl didn't get a blowout we don't love. I mean,
Jeff Bezos, looking like his best Lex Luthor, was there. And look, can we talk about his wife for a minute? His fiancé. Sorry. What was she wearing? Lauren Sanchez, Jeff Bezos's fiance, showed up in a blazer, but with like a lingerie top underneath.
Nasty. I mean, I kind of approve. Otherwise, yeah, with the white suit, it's giving one of my favorite references, Joan London for Claritin. But her vibe is very much Gina Gershon character. And I think I would have, if you had told me Gina Gershon were there, I'd have believed you. So I actually have to apologize to Gina Gershon. Because, she'll do a Woody Allen movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I think the main issue with all of these, billionaires collected behind Trump is that it is just so, I have to use the word transparent again. It's so unbelievable that people could champion this man as the voice of the people, as someone who cares about the working class in this country. And then you have literally all of these tech billionaires behind him as he's being inaugurated. And they're all behind him, bending the knee because they don't want him to fuck up their companies.
Right. Also, by the way, it was weird watching him try to talk about TikTok, where he said something like, somebody showed me a couple of TikToks, the things I'll do for a campaign. It's like, so you also have contempt for TikTok and yet also want to be considered the savior of TikTok. I mean, I understand that coherence is not what people crave from Donald Trump, but it is one of those things where if you listen to what he says, like one paragraph by one paragraph at a time, it takes no time at all before he has contradicted himself or made some shit up. And it's just, I don't know how to reiterate that it's just so insane, and you just have to dissociate in a way. I'm sorry. I know I work for Crooked Media, and it's like, well, we can do this, this, and this to help out. And you can do those things to help out. But instead, I also need to just not think about it. It's so horrible.
Yeah, listening to anything he says is like those stories you used to do where it was one person write a sentence and you pass it on.
Yes, that is exactly what it's like. And like, there's 10 different types of handwriting, and you pass it around in your class, and like your story that you were really proud of at first turns into something really stupid because you handed it to the person who is, the kid who eats all the candy in class all day, and you're like, where did he get that candy?
And it is just the thing that he generally has contempt for everyone who's around him. And yet he has to pretend that he does not. Because first of all, Donald Trump does not give a fuck about TikTok.
No, never thinks about it. It is literally just, I want to be around a crowd that is loudly chanting my name. It is all about adulation.
And if you love political theater, the theater of the absurd, I guess some of it was fun. But otherwise, I just didn't want to think about it.
Yeah, even Melania's, whatever she was doing. I was talking about this when I walked in the door today. At Kimmel yesterday, Melania's outfit, in which she's wearing this kind of Fosse-esque hat and this really tight pea coat, kind of looking like, actually, she kind of reminds me of Bob Fosse in The Little Prince playing the snake when he has all the Michael Jackson moves, and then Michael Jackson stole all those moves. Look that up if you haven't seen those GIFs. But anyway, I was really disappointed. Like, I couldn't land on a satisfying reference for what Melania Trump actually looked like. Like, the hamburger came up, and I'm like, not really. It's also not really Carmen Sandiego. She's sort of like... Gadget. Yeah, it's like a little bit You're a Spy or something. Flight attendant from the future. Just nothing really landed for me. So if you have the definitive reference for what she actually looked like, please send it in, because I was not able to write it yesterday.
But I also do not have any intention of repeating the same shit that we did for that first 4 years. Like, I don't have any interest in finding Melania amusing.
I know, you're right. It's and also pretending like, oh, she hates him and she's hiding away or whatever. It's like, girl, she's clearly complicit in this and a big dumb animal like they all are. Like, there's nothing different. She
sold that fucking book. And now she has a meme coin. I don't even know what the fuck that is. Someone sent me a headline that said something about a Melania meme coin, and I said, my brain broke.
And also she in the book had talked about being pro-choice, and it's sort of like, yeah, but he's doing all these horrible things. So what you're doing is like trying to pull voters who are pro-choice into believing Donald Trump could conceivably be pro-choice, and that's a lie too. So
yeah, and also being decked out in Oscar de la Renta, all those people, it's just like, I feel like everyone has just decided, well, he's back. So, and this is what a majority of the country seem to want. So all bets are off. I really do not anticipate the kind of backlash or boycotts of people who decide to throw in their lot with Trump this time around. I mean, it happened to Carrie Underwood, but I think what was so shocking is that I should have expected it, but when our video of your Keep It from last week was posted, right, of Carrie Underwood, I was shocked at the amount of people hopping in to defend her and saying, you know, you liberals attack everybody, etc. And I was like, oh, people really do not want the backlash against people for supporting Trump anymore.
Yeah. Also, Carrie Underwood, again, will be making $10 million a year on American Idol. So it's like, stop pretending that... Yeah, stop pretending like there's any repercussions whatsoever.
Thanks, President Trump, for TikTok.
Yeah. Ooh, I can't wait to get back on it. I do have to say, I feel a little guilty as a quote-unquote pop cultural person that TikTok is such a blind spot for me. Like, we have writers at Kimmel who are younger than I am who say the word TikTok every other word. And a part of me is like, oh, I should really be tapped into this. But at the same time, it's not art, baby. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stick with the movies.
I love TikTok, and I love scrolling through it at night. You know, I will lose like a couple hours to it, but when I'm really supposed to be going to bed. But the thing about TikTok, and I think Jay Jordan was saying this recently, is that for comedians who've gotten big on TikTok, you have to sort of even get bigger to become a real successful comedian. You know, I think that TikTok is a thing where a couple of people got some shine off it immediately, but TikTok has not really done a thing like Instagram or, you know, Twitter or something where it has launched creative careers. It's launched a lot of influencer careers.
Yeah.
Maybe Addison Rae is the only
Addison
person.
Rae who is now on the cover of Rolling Stone.
Yes.
And I do like a couple of her singles, but I still think she's not sort of like we're not craving her artistry like en masse yet, you know, other than she is a huge star.
But she was a TikTok star too, who I guess that launched her being in some dismal movies like He's All That for Netflix, right? But it really wasn't until she linked up with Charlie XCX and was making music and becoming part of a cool scene that we started to care about her. It wasn't TikTok. Mm-hmm.
It does feel like she got a blessing from Charlie XCX, and I do like their little remix together. And the video of them making it together, that was very endearing too.
I think we said enough about Donald Trump.
I hope we don't do this again until he is dead, and then we talk exclusively about Home Alone 2, and I can give you a little limerick about Brenda Fricker. A frickerick, if you will.
Yeah, we'll do that next week.
Okay. Oh. All right. Looking forward.
Sorry, that was the FBI at my door.